This is actually the first time I've ever stopped doing the feed because it's just, he started yelling at the end and you can't hear him. And he's been bothering the audience back, who's been sitting toward the back of the room all night.
This is comedian Lewis Black discussing a male Karen at his show.
I was once in a room in Boston called Nick's where I actually said after the show that I would rather have thrown meat at bears.
It actually appears this man confronts MK and the heckler pushes him away.
So are we there? Is he gone? Come on.
And as the video shows, this may be our man. Did he really just pull the Randy Marsh Little League episode where he takes on Bat Dad? Well, this is just childish. A guy who maybe is in his 60s is flipping off everybody in sight.
Well, no, thank you. And now I have to reconsider my whole special.
If I had to take a wild guess, I would assume the heckler had no freaking clue who Lewis Black was and his shtick and his comedy routines. By the way, if you have no idea who he is, YouTube his bits and circle back because he's fantastic. The Virginia Pilot noted a while ago a quick sample of his act, which is, "We're the greatest economy. Nobody's prepared to take care of their parents. You can't say it's the greatest economy, and we're not prepared for anything that's coming down the pike." He does not show preferential treatment. Instead, he rips both parties. What really enrages me more than anything else, we've gone beyond partisanship. They live in totally different realities, said Black. Black has no love for Donald Trump. It's one thing if you have a 10-year-old kid who's lying every day. That's kind of cute, he said. When you have your leader doing it, and no one is saying you have to stop that, you can't say he's different. No, he's lying. And an adult, you have to stop that. The Democrats leave Black filled with scorn. They'd be good if we had a big prom, he said. You have this guy taking all the oxygen out the room, he says to Trump, and you don't find somebody to pump it back in. Shame on you. I'm supposed to admire them? They're weak. He's weary of gridlock between the parties. You can't even come up with infrastructure. You bleep, he asks. In the end, I don't like only talking about the president, but this president makes it difficult. That's all he wants, is for people to talk about him. He is the comedy. He is to comedy in much the same way a stroke is to a nap, he adds. My comedy comes from the anger, and my anger is fueled by the world that I live in. Recently, however, he feels as if we're living in fictional times. We're in an intersection of satire and reality. That realization, he says, came to him during the 2016 presidential campaign as he saw former Alaska governor and one-time VP candidate Sarah Palin on a stage with then-candidate Trump. That was the moment where I thought, how do I satire something that's already satirical, something you would see on a joke? Wouldn't that be funny? It's supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be real. Most of all, what'll probably piss a lot of people off is this line from a 2015 interview Lewis Black gave with the Phoenix New Times. The interviewer asks, "In recent interviews, you've hinted at endorsing Bernie Sanders for president. Do you support his candidacy?" Black's answer, "I do support him, considering the fact that I'm a socialist. I'm kind of thrilled that someone like that is running. However, what are his chances?" And I need to be honest, I don't think he has a chance. Why? Because Americans have been kind of basically processed out by everything, and Americans don't like the idea of socialism. And that's partly because they don't understand it, because no one's really taken the time to separate communism from socialism. And we're a social democracy, so to speak. And Americans have trouble with all of those kind of things. That redistribution of wealth is always going to be difficult. I mean, it wasn't when I was a kid, but now, oh boy, that's not really a place you can go.